Nigel spends hours every day learning how to increase his testosterone so he can have thick facial hair, more muscle mass, attract girls, and stop feeling like a boy. But everywhere he goes, everyone says the exact same stuff. Lift weights, stop drinking alcohol, take supplements, sleep better, eat protein, etc. From the fake self-development YouTubers to the blogs he reads. Nigel gets frustrated. He does all these things but still feels, acts, and looks like an unhealthy boy that's unattractive to women. The frustration spikes his cortisol, which decreases his testosterone notably. If only Nigel knew there were more advanced ways to skyrocket his testosterone through his hormonal health that most people are completely unaware of, he could finally live a life full of health and happiness, achieve his dream body, his full potential, and attract the girl of his dreams, Amy. If you watch this video, then I'm assuming that you are not a complete retard. You should be told the absolute basic stuff like don't drink alcohol, it's bad for your testosterone, sleep at a decent time, and all that stuff. You want the secrets to get ahead that 90% of these people, these brain dead villagers, have no idea even exist. Because all these guys on YouTube saying, 5 ways to skyrocket your testosterone and 10x your testosterone, they for a fact, they just Googled that question and they just popped those answers into the video that they made. They all say the exact same stuff. We're not doing that here. We're gonna cover the science-backed and deep researched ways to 10x your testosterone based on optimizing your endocrine system, aka your hormonal system, by reducing the amount of estrogenics in your body. I'll cover what all that stuff means in just a second, but the first way to do just that is to filter your water. This is because the water we drink is the same water we pee. Our water does not come from some natural spring near us where there's like salmon like running around and having fun, and then it goes to the ocean and all this. No. The water you drink is the same water you pee. It gets recycled and retreated by the government, who we know for a fact are absolute idiots. So we cannot trust them for anything except blowing our money on the stupidest imaginable things, like sending 75 billion to Ukraine, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. But a story for another day. The problem with the government filtering our water is that they do a stupidly bad job. And one thing that they completely neglect to filter out is EE2. Now, EE2 is an estrogenic birth control hormone. So when women who are taking birth control, they take the pill, that hormone goes into their body, then they also pee it out into the water supply. And since hormones are not like bacteria, they can't be killed, that hormone is it's in the water that we drink. A tap of a glass of water you get from your fridge filter or your tap, it has that birth control hormone in it. We're putting that into our bodies on a daily basis. Now the problem is when your body starts to artificially have very high levels of estrogen inside of it, it causes a whole host of issues: infertility, depression, obesity, gynecomastia, all the problems that we see as mainstream trends in modern first world countries. So we take estrogenics in from so many different sources, and water is one of them. So it disrupts your entire body's hormonal system, which is super critical. And then also realize that testosterone and estrogen tend to generally work in opposites. So as your estrogen starts to artificially go much higher, testosterone tanks. It's a bit of like an oversimplification. There's a lot more stuff happening, pituitary glands, blah, blah, blah. But generally speaking, estrogen goes up, testosterone goes down. The solution is, of course, very simple. Remove these toxic birth control hormones from our water supply. The way to actually do that is through a water filter. Now, the best two for this are activated carbon and reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is way better. There's one other option like water distiller. I'm not gonna cover that in this video. That's just a whole other subject. You have reverse osmosis and activated carbon. Now, chances are the filter you're gonna buy is gonna have both of these installed in it. And one version of that is an under the sink filter that attaches to the tap in your kitchen sink. So it'll get installed under your sink. A secondary tap will come up, a smaller one, where you'll get pure clean water. The other option is get a water filter that's over the counter. This is like a little machine you put in like the corner of your kitchen, and has like a jug on it. You take it out, you fill it with water, pop it in the machine, cleans that water, pours it into a separate jug. Then you take the water left over, toss it out, put in fresh water. So it's a bit of a hassle, the second option. The second option, though, countertop filter is a little bit cheaper, but it's the bit of that hassle of putting it back and forth. Both options are great, and they'll cost you between $300 to $600. And of course, the under the sink one costs a little bit more because you often will need an installer to come put it in for you and like drill a hole to make the secondary faucet. But your health and your testosterone are well worth $300 to $600. It's like a one-time payment. After like every other year, you have to get like the filter like reinstalled for like $60, replacement filter. But your health is well worth it. If you're watching this video thinking, oh my God, this guy's going on a rant, like I cannot afford this much money, like that's a lot of money, I'm young, I'm broke, student, whatever, I have a very simple solution. Don't be broke. You cannot afford to rely on the CDC, the NIH, the government, AOC, CNN, whatever their dumb acronym is, to keep you safe. Your health is your responsibility. You're the only person that will care about your health, with the exception of me, because I love you, bro. But you have to take the time to research a water filter that fits your needs and you can buy to have clean water that's not, so you're not drinking birth control hormones. The good news, if you want the filter that I have, which cost me about $400, it is linked in the description below in my wellness kit. 10 out of 10 filter, the best, one of the best on the markets for a bunch of different reasons that I won't cover right now. But something you have to do your research on. I can't just say buy this filter. It depends on whatever system you have, what you want, blah, blah, blah. But do some research on this. Reverse osmosis and activated carbon is the way to go. Most filters will have both. Now, the second thing destroying your testosterone is your skin, body, teeth, hair, grooming products. Everything from your toothpaste to your hair gel to your shampoo to your shaving cream to your skincare routine, all that stuff. This is for a bunch of different reasons, but a few of them I want to point out is that almost all of these have parabens added to it, which are a preservative to make the thing last way longer. Think about how long your deodorant lasts for. It's made in some factory, they ship it across the country to your Target, it stays in your Target warehouse for like a couple months, then it goes to the front of the shelf, then you buy it, and then it stays in the back in your closet for 3 months because you bought a pack of 3. This thing that you're putting on your body has existed for over a year and a half, and it's natural ingredients. Natural ingredients do go bad after like a week. There's no way what you're putting on is natural. So number one is preservatives. The second one is a soap with a fragrance, especially. It likely has alkyl phenols or trichosan added to it, which is a toxic hormone disruptor. And often all these products are packaged in cheap plastic, which has phthalates added to it to make the plastic bendable and durable, which gets leached into the product as you use it. So now you're being triple whammied, if not like 8x whammied, depending on what you're actually putting on your body, with all these nasty chemicals in it. And of course, these chemicals are estrogenic, making you fat, sick, and infertile. And it makes sense to why they're so popular. If a company can make their product last 10 times longer, they can ship it out cheaply in like a cheaper, smaller container that's like more cost efficient, and they can add like a cheap fragrance to it. They will to make profit, and we'll just buy it up because most people are ignorant. Believe me when I tell you that every mainstream brand, every brand with advertising that most people know the names that they have in their homes, that you likely have in your home, is toxic. I know they all say like natural ingredients and we use fresh Jamaican grass imported from flying unicorns. They are lying to you. Whatever mainstream stuff you have is not safe. Now, the solution, however, is quite simple. Well, it's not simple, but it's actually very complicated, but I made it very simple for you. That is just buy the hormone safe version of all the products you already use. Everything from sunscreen to toothpaste to your shaving cream, shaving gel, soap, your hand soap, your body soap, body wash, all that stuff. All those products are linked below in the description in my testosterone safe skin, body, teeth, hair grooming kit. I know, like, obviously I make like a small affiliate like commission, like some 30 cents, whatever. So if you don't use, like, don't want to make me some money or whatever, just search for the exact same product on Amazon and buy it there. These are the best of the safest, of the most efficient, of the healthiest products you can get on the entire market. I put my name behind every single one of those. I wish I could tell you just like, oh, don't buy ingredients or don't buy products with like these few ingredients. There's so many toxic ingredients. Of course, some of them are estrogenic, really bad. We want to avoid that, tank your testosterone. Other bad ones as well, essential oils and lavender and a bunch of other random crap like colorants, dyes, bends, fens, all that stuff. So I would have to make 8 videos covering every single toxic ingredient in skin and like body grooming products. Just take my word for it, buy the products on that list, and just, if you don't want to give you a commission, then just search the products up on Amazon and buy them yourself. But please believe me when I tell you that stuff you are lathering yourself in is straight toxic. Just throw it away. You do not want to be putting that stuff on your body. It is literally making you infertile. Now, the next thing destroying your testosterone is grains and dairy. The unfortunate reality is the herbicides we use in the United States are worse than cancerous. They are straight poison. The second most common one we use is called atrazine. And this herbicide is so dangerous, the entire European Union banned it. But it's the second most common one we use. The other ones we use also are not that great either. And we put 80 million tons of it on our crops per year. Like, we can't even fantasize a number in our head. Like, a ton, like a baby elephant, so like 80 of them, okay, that's a lot, but like 80 million, like our brains can't even think of numbers past 1,000. So this stuff is on everything. It's linked to tumors, leukemia, lymphoma, ulcers. It's the worst of the worst stuff. That's not even including the estrogenic problems of this chemical. You do not want to be putting that stuff inside your body. You have to stop consuming corn and dairy. Now, just stop consuming corn. The other side of this is, guess who else gets fed those grains? Cows. So these companies want to make a lot more profit. Instead of feeding cows grass, which they've ate for all of human existence, they're now feeding them grains, the worst and moldiest fungi-filled garbage grains that they just store in barns for months at a time, because grains do actually last for like a long time. But on that mold and fungi is a chemical called ZEE, ZEA. Now, ZEA is an estrogenic hormone disruptor, nasty stuff. So when you consume dairy, you're getting double whammied by 1, atrazine, and by 2, ZEA. So your ice cream, your milk, your butter, your yogurt, all this stuff is estrogenic, making you fat, sick, and infertile, all while taking your testosterone in the process. Now, the solution is unfortunate but simple. You have to just stop consuming corn and grains. I know it sucks. We love our corn, but atrazine is just so utterly toxic for your body. You do not want to be putting it on you. Now, as for dairy, there's a better solution. That's just buy 100% organic, grass-fed, grass-finished dairy, because when it's grass-fed, grass-finished, then obviously they want to ideally eat grains. You can't always trust these companies, but usually if they're grass-fed, grass-finished, they mean that and they stand by it. So get those products, and then also make sure they're not packaged in plastic. I'll cover why in a second, but try to get, like, if you're gonna buy milk, get it in a glass container. If you're gonna buy butter, get it in paper packaging, not any sort of plastic packaging, because plastic is also a toxic endocrine disruptor, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, the next thing showing your testosterone is sunscreen. I know we've said the word toxic so many times, but this stuff in your sunscreen is not just like the normal toxic, like insanely bad that we've covered. It is worse than that, because not only is it an endocrine disruptor, it's estrogenic and it's bad for you in that sense, but it also prevents your body being able to use the free testosterone it has for things like muscle mass, facial hair, important bodily functions. Fun fact, the reason why we figured this out is because people were going to the beach wearing sunscreen and they were killing coral reef from hundreds of feet away from just the stuff they had on their face and their body. Now, the thing is, most of the sunscreens I'm referring to are ones that use chemicals, uses the active ingredient like oxybenzone and its sister ingredients, avobenzone, homosalate, oxydislate. Because now, like, all of these companies, they jump on the bandwagon of like saying, oh, oxybenzone bad for you. Don't worry, guys, we have a safe version. And they use an ingredient that's so chemically similar. It's basically the exact same thing. What you want is a mineral-based sunscreen that uses zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Some combination of both or either or. Make sure it's not like half zinc and half like oxybenzone, because companies will skimp out on you like that. It has to be completely mineral-based, because that is safe. The other ones are so utterly dangerous. You do not throw them out right now if you have them. Now, just if you want to take this to the next level, you also want a sunscreen that has just no problematic ingredients at all, not just a mineral-based one. Then in my testosterone safe skin, body, teeth, hair grooming kit, I also have the sunscreen that I use, which is checks off every single box. 10 out of 10, I'd recommend it. And then additionally, if it's also talked about more in detail, if you're interested in this, in my testosterone safe skincare routine plus deodorant, link below. Now, the next thing is storing your testosterone and spiking up your estrogen to artificially insane levels is food coloring in food, specifically red numbers 3 and 40. This is pretty straightforward. When you see snacks, desserts, ice cream, all this stuff that look red, and you can tell that obviously this is cheap stuff, so they definitely added food coloring to it. Look at the ingredients list, and if it says red 3 or red 40, that stuff is estrogenic and not something that should ever go inside of your body. Now, obviously, we're not like these villagers just eating this garbage food all the time. It's absurd. I went to Walmart the other day and I'm walking around like most of this store is not edible. Like, it's not meant for human consumption. This is just straight garbage products, but so many of these stuff have food coloring in it. Even if it's not actually like a red, it's not like some like red sorbet ice cream, or it's not some red cereal. It's often, if it's like some mixed color that's similar to red, or even if it's some random colors, like some rainbow ones, they often just add the red coloring to it because red is just attractive to our eyes. It makes the thing pop. So whenever you're on your cheat days, your cheat meals, you want to sneak a little something in, I'm not going to judge, but make sure to check the ingredients. Does it have red 3 or red 40? Some things I've noticed, I think hot Cheetos do, which is unfortunate, and Skittles do as well. Throw that crap in the garbage. Don't be putting red 40 into your body. Now, the next thing is growing your testosterone and spiking up your estrogen to insanely high levels. And there's a lot of stuff we're covering because this stuff in our modern world is all just toxic. But the next one is pretty bad because that is plastic. Now, plastic is everywhere around us. Everything is made out of plastic. I'm looking at this car, plastic screen, plastic. Like most people have drink out of plastic water bottles. The stuff is everywhere because it's cheap and easy to produce. But if you think about it, 150 years, plastic didn't exist. It was invented, I think, in 1906. This is a very new modern invention, and unfortunately, most plastics are estrogenic. Now, there's 7 major types of plastics. 5 of them are estrogenic. The other 2 are not, but they all have something called phthalates added to it, which we talked about earlier, to make the plastic bendable and durable. I would be amazed if you have even one product in your entire house that is made from plastic and not estrogenic. It's just incredibly rare. It doesn't happen. So we can say with certainty, plastic estrogenic equals not good. Now, the reason how plastic and phthalates enter your body, because we're not eating plastic, or we're not like putting it like on our skin like a lotion or something, is because of microplastics. This is the reason why I talked about earlier to not have stuff that's in containers made of plastic. It's because anything plastic touches, it leaches microplastics into. If I were just to touch this like plastic screen right here, you can't see it, it's like in my car, those microplastics would go through my skin and into my body. Of course, they're very tiny and they're small, but these things things are everywhere. So if you have a grooming product made in a plastic container, especially if it has oils in it, it is absorbing the microplastics and the phthalates in that container, and it goes into your body. Because your body's not like, your skin is not a barrier to the outside world. Anything that it touches, it absorbs. You can absorb microplastics through inhalation because they're in the air around us because we burn plastic, through touch or through consumption. No, I'm not gonna lie, phasing out plastics from your life is pretty difficult, but there's some good ways to get there. Number one is just throw out any plastic water bottles you have. That is the absolute worst of the worst stuff, because when plastic is heated, exponentially more microplastics get released, which is also why I tell you in your grooming products not have plastic ones. If you have like a bottle of soap made of plastic and it's in a hot shower, exponentially more microplastics are gonna get released into it. We wanna avoid that. So get a water bottle made from stainless steel or glass. And the other thing I wanna talk about is your clothing. Our clothing is also made out of plastic, nylon, polyester, elastane, spandex. All these are insanely popular materials, the word I'm looking for. These are everywhere, and you do not wanna put them on your body, because as they're rubbing your body right now, microplastics from the plastic in your clothes is going through your skin into your body. So just slowly over time, I'm gonna make more videos on this, but start to just phase out the plastic materials you have in clothing for natural ingredients, things like bamboo, cotton, silk, denim, leather, and wool. These are all natural ingredients. You wanna get clothes out of them. Cotton's probably gonna be the most popular one because cotton is cheap and it's fairly decent as clothing. The shirt I'm wearing right now, I still haven't phased this one out. It's half cotton, half polyester. I'm trying to get 100% cotton clothes. They're not that hard to find, but it's, you know, they're obviously not as popular as polyester. And then also toss out any plastic utensils you have at home. Either get paper ones or stainless steel, whatever the case may be. And then lastly, again, we talked about this earlier, before your grooming products, do not have them in plastic containers. Again, check the kit I have in the description for completely hormone safe ones. Now, the last thing I want to cover that is destroying your testosterone and again, artificially skyrocketing your estrogen is phytoestrogenics. Now, phytoestrogenics are plants that are estrogenic. Everything we talked about so far on this list is synthetic, it's man-made, but these plants are just naturally have occurring estrogenics in them. And the two absolute worst are soy and flax. For reference, flax has about 400,000 phytoestrogens per microgram, soy has about 100,000, and black beans have 9. Chickpeas have 5. And black beans and chickpeas are considered on the higher end of the phytoestrogenic spectrum. So consider how much estrogen goes into your body when you consume soy and flax. Now, these villagers are gonna say, oh no, but there's so many benefits to soy and flax and blah, blah, blah. But the truth is we have been completely and utterly lied to by the ministry. The reason why people say all these crazy health benefits of these two is because they just represents the worst of corporate and government interests. Corporations love soy because it's easy to grow. It grows in straight lines. It practically just falls out of the shell. It's so easy to produce. It's cheap, and it's just made for corporate large-scale farming. So they'll say all these like amazing benefits of it, but the reality is it just contains, even the studies, I've read some of the studies on this because people will say, if you Google the benefits of soy right now, they'll say improves your bone health. That's based off the most retarded study ever, that women who after they went through menopause had a 4% benefit in like bone density. It's the most garbage stuff ever. It's just pumped to us because hey, it's cheap to produce. I talked about this in detail in one of my other videos, but again, just stay clear of soy and flax. You don't want to put stuff in your body. The other two estrogenic ones worth mentioning are lavender and cannabis. Get rid of those two as well. This could be anything from, you know, essential oils you have with those scents in them. It could be a lotion with that stuff in them. It could be like a concentrate, a soy protein. All this stuff is not something you want in your body. The only okay one is soy sauce, because that is fermented and it's killed off the phytoestrogens in it. But everything else, I know it's hard to believe because we've been told all this amazing stuff about soy and flax, but that stuff is not something you want to put into your body. Right, now I know in this video I threw a lot of stuff at you very quickly because the microphone is actually dying, but this sounds like a lot of crazy stuff, right? Like get new clothes, get new grooming products, get a water filter, stop consuming this, stop consuming that. And I know this sounds hard, but start it slowly. Start to just very slowly just phase out the stuff out of your life. Maybe the water filter's a bit expensive, so let me just stop, you know, eating the soy protein, get a whey protein. Let me also just start to phase out some clothes. Build one step at a time, and you'll notice that very quickly you'll start to feel so much better. Just notice that when you go to the gym, you're putting on muscle a little bit faster. Your facial hair looks a little bit thicker. Your Adam's apple is popping out a little bit more. You speak a little bit deeper. You will have so many benefits. Of course, we love testosterone, but to your overall health, because your hormonal health is so utterly important, that your life will go to a next level. Imagine how you're competing in life with every other guy, and you have an advantage because you know this information that I've told you right here, and you're at a different health level than they are. Imagine how you take my advice, you go through all these things, and now you're feeling better, you're performing better, you're looking better, you feel incredible, and your life is going to a completely new direction. You don't feel like the boy that you kind of are right now. You're like, there's all these men around you, you kind of, I don't understand how they act so masculine. You become the masculine man you've always wanted to be, because these, I know it sounds like a bit of a conspiracy theory, but these are toxins that are mainstream and around us. So we're on self-improvement. We know that most people don't care about their health, enough to go to the gym. They don't care about toxins, their environment. So you, by doing this, will dominate your competition. Even the guys that are on self-improvement, they're going to the gym and they're working out and they're kind of journaling and meditating, you have an advantage over them, so you will excel in life. But they'll all start taking action today. Send this video to a friend you care about that needs it, and then also, I am proud of you for taking action to change your life. I really am, because most people won't do that. Get the hell out of here. I gotta go home to freshen up and eat dinner. Love you.